Hey everyone, welcome back to StarCraft. We're on the final Zerg mission, or actually the final mission of Brood War. So without further ado, Omega. This is it. This is the last Brood War mission. This is probably the last time I'll play Brood War in
Our scouts have just identified 3 separate fleets approaching this platform, with Duran having disappeared, and the bulk of my broods still on the surface of Char. You'll need to hold off the invaders by yourself.
You sound worried, Kerrigan. Have I caught you at a bad time?
Not at all, Arcturus. How'd you manage to scrape up your new fleet? Been raiding the salvage dumps again?
I called in a few favors, made a few concessions. You'd be surprised to see how many special interest groups in this sector want to see you dead.
I'm sorry to have to disappoint your new friends, Arcturus. But you really shouldn't have attempted this stunt. It'll take more than your 3 little fleets to bring me down.
3 fleets?
Don't play dumb, Arcturus. I've already spotted the other 2 fleets.
Kerrigan, this is Artanis. My brethren and I have come to avenge the deaths of Phoenix, the Matriarch, and all of the other Protoss who fell before the Swarm. It is long past time you paid for your crimes against our people.
When it rains, it pours.
The Protoss, too. Care to take a guess as to who the 3rd fleet is?
No need to guess. It's Dugall and the remainder of the UED fleet.
That is correct, Kerrigan. This is Admiral Dugall. I am giving you one last chance to surrender your forces and submit to the sovereign authority of the United Earth Directorate.
Gee, that's a tough one, Admiral. You'll have to let me think for a minute. You know, Admiral, I think I'll just massacre your remaining troops now and watch you die in agony. How would that be?
You vastly underestimate me, my dear.
I don't think so, Admiral. You see, at this point, I'm pretty much the queen bitch of the universe. And not all of your little soldiers or spaceships will stand in my way again.
So be it.
Alright, well, here we go. Options, sounds. This is the last time we'll do this too in a Brood War campaign mission. Well, I think this is like the last time we'll play. Well, not the last time. Never say never. Never say never. But I don't see StarCraft Brood War content in my channel in the foreseeable future. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll take to the streets, do some online multiplayer. Who knows? So the game plan is going to be screw over Protoss hard. Yeah, I know like there's Terran, but I just don't want to fight the Protoss. Take expansions, you know, the usual. Like this is really like a versus AI game. Well, it is a versus AI game. Haha. And really, most of my games in StarCraft Brood War have been versus AI. So the nice thing is they already start us off with a hive. So that's greatly appreciated in terms of upgrades, at least. So we don't have to. We don't have to rush to hive tech because we already have hive tech, which is something else. And we're on a space platform too. I think it's can't ask for much more than that. So we're already gonna put some drones into gas. Get some more drones for mining money, getting overlord. As for unit composition, I'm not really sure what I want to use for this mission. I'm half tempted to like just play to win, but on the other hand too, it's like, well, I feel like I do that a lot. Hey, if I'm gonna do something a little bit more original, like this would be the mission to do it, but we'll see. We shall see. So how's it going for you guys? For me, it's a Monday night. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna have like all this StarCraft stuff recorded, and then I can start branching out to other things. There's some like video stuff I want to do, which there may have been some on my channel already by the time this gets published, but frankly at this point I have no idea. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna say anything either because I mean, again, I don't know if it's come out or not. At least what I plan to do. It might sound. You might be saying, "Well, that sounds like deliberately cryptic," which isn't really my intent. It's just more of me trying to be accurate about the situation. We should probably get upgraded Zerglings too. Definitely gonna need a standing ground army. So that's why I'm willing to invest heavily into the upgrades. I think I might try and get everything this game. Lurkers could be fun. Oh dear. Our friends the Dominion. And I'm expecting the UED to show their faces pretty soon as well. And I think we have too many drones, so we're not going to be able to get much more out of getting more drones. Which I think is pretty intuitive. And I love how they gave us so many base defenses. Alright, so if anything, that just tells me we're really more second colonies down below here, south entrance. And I think for this mission, I'm going to be more okay to use base defenses, because they won't cost supply. Oh, we need more breastfeeding gas. Ah! So I guess that kind of makes our decision for us. So I think we're just going to be using Zerglings primarily for now. Simply because we can't really afford anything else. Actually, we're basically flat broke right now. Let's get a couple more Hydralisks. So now what we can do, that we kind of have our infrastructure for upgrades up, we can start looking for an expansion, which I believe I know where to look already. And we might need a couple more base defenses, although I think at this point it might be better just to get the units. Simply because they're more flexible. So what I mean by that is if I build a lot of base defenses here, I'm only defending this area of the base. Where if I get units, I can move the units around and do other things. Alright, so that's our first expo. And I'm wondering if you guys are okay with me explaining that kind of stuff to you. Although, I don't really know. I mean, I guess for me it's like, I would rather explain it and people be like, oh yeah, like we get that, but they don't really say much about it, than me trying to explain it. And what am I saying? What am I saying, D? I feel like I'm dropping a lot of thoughts recently. I've been trying to say things, but then I have the words, but I cannot speak. So I mean, there goes our gas bank again. Those Zerglings are 1-1. It's not bad. Although I think what we should do is we should wait a little bit before buying anything else, and we'll just get the expansion. I guess what I was trying to say before I royally screwed it on speaking is that I would rather explain something and people say, okay, yeah, we get it, than me not explain anything at all, and people say, well, I wonder why he chose to do things that way. Okay, and I think if I can afford a couple Hydros, we should definitely get those and send them to protect our investments. So we're gonna be spread out a little bit thin because we're spending like almost all of our money on upgrades. And the gas in particular we need, but we just don't have enough. One gas geyser just isn't a lot of economy, or a lot of gas income, rather. But I'm fairly confident in our ability to hold off attacks. I mean, I guess we'll see. Oh, and we have the slow Hydralisks. That is not great. Though we do have a lot of Zerglings, so I'm thinking once we hit the like maybe like 3-3 mark, we can really start going to town. Hello, Zealot. Alright, so we're definitely have the upgrades as far as pros are concerned, which is good. So my plan is basically I want to get like a huge upgrade lead and use that to crush our enemies. Perfect. So one shield, one attack, that's really not intimidating. And actually, whoops, what did I do? I guess I grabbed the wrong unit. We'll build another hatchery here too. Or we need more overlords. Alright, that's fine. So now we get 3rd level carapace. And part of the reason why we're so just broke right now as far as money is concerned is because we have triple upgrade facilities going. Or triple evolution chambers. Alright, very good. And I'm going to get a replacement for this second colony, because we're definitely going to need it. Okay, maybe don't throw your lifeplate drone. I think we can throw down a couple base defenses for this base. We're going to be fine and dandy. Okay, start getting final level melee attack, and we'll be in business. Protoss probably won't know what hit them. I'm thinking we can actually wipe Protoss pretty quickly, if we're fast. Oh, and actually we should be throwing out some base defenses. Because we have the minerals right now. And soon we'll have the larva. And the reason why I threw down 3 hatcheries at this base is because I want to be able to populate it with drones very fast, but I also don't want to put I don't want to transfer my drones because I think it's a little bit risky to potentially run them through from here to this base, which I know like they're close to each other, but I feel like as soon as I try to transfer them, that's when they're gonna get pegged, which is something I'm trying to avoid, of course. Yeah, if we can get the adrenal glands, that's when things are really gonna come together, I think. Adrenal glands plus with the 2-2 that we have. I mean, 3-3 is better, but at this point I'm still ready to commit to attacking with just the adrenal glands. So I guess once that finishes up, and then once we start getting ultralisks, or once we get more bases, we can get ultralisks. And we can start to use those to again, crush our enemy. And I would like to get Spire Tech as well, but we're going to have to work towards that. Right now, in this phase of the game, we're going to be doing mostly Tier 1. And actually, 3rd level carapace is almost done, so I'm just going to wait for that to actually complete before I do any attacking. Okay, so I guess we're just waiting for the overlords then. Perfect, thank you. And I guess we'll start the Ultralisk Cabin right now. There you go, I should have a set for supply for a little while. We should probably change the rally point. If we can, okay, so far so good. It's almost done. Alright, so I guess now we try to make some friends with the Protoss. Yeah, so 3-2 Zerglings. That's going I think going pretty well for us. The Hodges for now we can just leave at home. Oh, we're gonna need detection as well. Tank carriers. Okay, well. So we're gonna need more overlords. So okay, start building those. And I think that's a good like initial attack. So now we kind of have an understanding of what we're gonna need. Definitely gonna need some more anti-air. And I think we're gonna be looking for expansions too. But I think it might be better to get Hydralisks. Okay, well, considering how the Zerglings had 0 support, they actually did very well. Sight radius and overlords. More overlords, please. And our range attacks are almost done. So our Hydras are going to be super powerful. But the thing is, like, we've already maxed out on upgrades, whereas they have more time to upgrade their units. So when I have this upgrade advantage, I want to make sure I can really leverage it sooner rather than later. Because the more I wait, the less an advantage it actually is for me to have all these upgrades. Alright, in the meantime, spending all that money. Okay, well, I think we're ready to roll. Several warlords may die. Oh. Let's go solve this problem first. Okay, that was a really sad attack, actually. I don't think that really accomplished much. I feel like someone got blinded, but I'm not really sure who.
The hive cluster is under attack.
Okay, well, we need to defend this base. Protoss probably won't be in the market to attack soon, considering how we've just attacked them recently. Alright, you guys can attack their main base.
All forces are under attack.
Yeah, 3-3. Yeah, we're so far ahead in the upgrades. It's just like it's very hard for them to deal with the Hydralisks, which is awesome. Like that's exactly what I want to have happen, especially against Protoss 2, because their units are already pretty beefy. So if I can make my Hydralisks like just scarier than like their regular stuff, they're gonna be in for a tough time. I think Hydralisks just do well against Protoss anyways. Though, who really knows?
The hive cluster is under attack.
Okay, we're gonna replace that, and we'll need to replace this.
All forces are under attack.
Yeah, okay, they can't stop us. We have overlords for days. Well, I guess the people they were following just died. Okay. Total annihilation come right up. Trying to use the Sun Colony, and you guys also need the Sun Colony. So this is good. We're crushing face here. Yeah, so he finally got like +1. Oh, you guys are going a different way. That's actually probably okay. So I didn't realize how much Protoss there was there, but it seems like there's quite a bit. And then what we'll do is we'll just probably expand on the corpse of Protoss. We could probably start sending like Zergling hit rates to Terran if we can spend our minerals. And we will probably be using it with a lot of our money on upgrades, but we'll see. Oh, you guys don't even have a Overlord. Alright, we're gonna fly one over then. Try to keep this guy distracted then until the Overlord gets here. Yeah, it's... ugh. Protection can ruin us. Mr. Overlord, where are you? Help! Save my people! Alright, there you go. You guys need to get to work too. Don't laze out. Don't be a lazy Sammy. Yeah, so I think that's it for Protoss. They had a valiant defense, but it just wasn't enough. And I think afterwards we're gonna start sending our Zerg friends, and by Zerg friends I mean Hydros. So they'll probably go over towards the UED and make some friends. Oh, and some of you might be wondering like how I knew where Protoss was. I have played this mission before, so I knew that Protoss is down the south. This is where you guys can start taking guesses, or start making guesses of where the UED and Dominion are. And we can actually probably
Savor this victory, Kerrigan. For the Protoss will never forget your treachery. We shall be watching.
Alright, cool. So that's it for the Protoss. Yeah, so they kind of got roasted and toasted. They didn't really last long, did they? And now we're going to expand over their, their shriveled husk. Although bases don't really become shriveled husks when they get destroyed, so that might be a moot point. You guys can actually stay as bodyguards, and you guys can go check out uncharted lands. So that's Protoss just wiped out, and so I'm hoping we can keep the pressure going for Dominion as well. Which I think we will be able to do, though we might need more production, admittedly. Okay, so while the Hydras are doing that, I'll keep these guys for base defenses, actually. And I'm going to transfer a few drones, because I want to start building a lot of hatcheries if at all possible. Where are you guys at? What? How do you guys get lost so badly? I think I had this problem too in the final mission when I did this on my other Let's Play, which is also my channel. Which is weird to think that I have 2 Let's Plays of Brood War, but no, they just got lost, man. Okay, so that's another base. You can become an extractor, you can become a hatchery. Basically, we just need more production because we have a lot of money. Cool, so they made it to the UED. Okay, that was very underwhelming. Spartech would probably be good. Also, getting our Ultralisk Caverns should be... Did we never build that? Is that what happened? We never built the Ultralisk Cavern? Looks like it. Unless we end up with like 2 Ultralisk Caverns, which would be comical. I think I thought about buying it, but I just never did. Okay, actually, you guys just attack the Dominion. And the drone never made it here. Okay. Oh, we should probably build up a little bit here. Okay, you go over there. I want to actually try and claim those lands if at all possible. And alright, so the Zerglings are doing a good job of messing them up. No, we never built the Ultralisk Cavern. Alright, that explains why I was so confused. And we probably need to start doing double spire. 1, 2. And we'll start getting this base saturated, which I don't think we really need to do, but why not? And this will probably be our Zergling Bay, in which we can just throw out nothing but Zerglings. Probably want to be a little bit careful about spending too much on drones because we don't need that many. Alright, and build a base here. We can actually probably transfer the drones to this base, or to this location, so we won't worry as much about getting, you know, more drones in production over there. Oops. Okay, everything's going good. And once the spires are finished, we can start getting the upgrades, because we're gonna need them for fighting Manx, I think, or Dominion. I don't know, Manx and Dominion are basically interchangeable for me. Let's fulfill our Overlord quota as well. Okay, and I don't think we'll need detection for UED. Here we go, fire attacks. Okay, I'm wondering how much of the base we can level with just the Zerglings. I'm thinking we could probably do a pretty solid number on them. I don't know if their upgrades are either, though, so I guess it's something to consider. Alright, run my Zerglings. My pretty preciouses. Alright, perfect. Spending that money. Probably don't need any more drones. So they're all like 1-1. Oh, actually they're max not bad. Alright, so as much as I want to just throw Zerglings at them, that obviously isn't gonna work. Or at the very least, it's not like cost efficient at all. So changing gears, getting a lot of Hydralisks. I think we just need to clear up some of the spell cruisers, to be honest. Which I don't think will be too hard. Okay, why don't get how you guys get so gosh darn lost? Like, look at that, they're just all over the place. And I don't think it'll take us very long to max out Hydralisks, so that's why I'm just gonna go for maximum Hydralisks. And there's no other way for us to get across, is there? No, it doesn't look like it.
Our forces are under attack.
Alright, meanwhile, have to take care of Protoss and some other. Yeah, just go away. You're not welcome here. Oh boy, man, we sure got a lot of Hydralisks very quickly, didn't we? Is that actually gonna? Are we gonna win this? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay, maximum supply usage. Let's go. Let's go wrangle in some air units. If things get really out of control as far as like close breaks go, we can send more overlords.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay, I'm hoping this should be enough to do them in, though.
Our forces are under attack.
You guys are not doing so hot as far as pathfinding is concerned.
Our forces are under attack.
Alright, so I'm hoping eventually it'll just be like just a giant flood of Zerg, and they won't be able to do anything to stem the tide. Oh, I guess this is what I get for sending everything. Quick! It was that one Hydros we could. Oh, that's quite a number of ghosts. Oh, how do you have, like 4? Yeah. Oh. Oh, there goes all my drones. Alright. Dominion's next. So we haven't really been watching what's been happening to UED because we've been pretty distracted for why? Why has everyone just decided to take a break today? Why have they given up? This is I think definitely the game of apathy. Well, at the very least, I think we've broken the UED, which is a great news. Sorry, not really great news, but it's a good sign. Yeah, well, I guess we'll transfer some of you guys. Find some people for the lost and found. Here, close enough to base that you can just come back to us. You guys can go to mining. Alright, so yeah, UAD can't do anything to us right now, which is cool beans as far as I'm concerned. And honestly, I think the biggest threat to us right now is the pathfinding. Those units just definitely don't want to find their mark. Like here, like that. Much a little ingrates. And okay, so now that we've found most of the stragglers, we will commence this again. Hey, I gotta make sure I know where to transfer all my units. Okay, so they have 4 like siege tanks there, so throwing things at them doesn't seem to do much. I think this is the major command center. Will he surrender? No, looks like he's not interested in surrendering. That's fine. We'll just we'll grind him down to a fine dust.
Our forces are under attack.
Alright, evolution complete. I guess we'll transfer some more of these drones here. And I don't think there's a lot of other bases we need to take. I mean, we can take this one if we really felt the need to do so, but honestly, we're fine for resources. Man, there's just so much slaughter. I want to take a good look at the scorecards after this. See how much we've actually done. Yeah, we even like started to find our way back into the Dominion territory. Oh yeah, in case you guys didn't know, Dominion is to the left. Ha ha ha. Again, you guys are just silly goats. And I've kind of realized now that like, we've done most of this with just using Hydralisks. And here I was like, oh, we're gonna use everything, but I guess Hydralisks just work, man. Alright, and otherwise, What else should we start using? I'll just swing would not be a bad idea. Just max on all shifts, that'd be fun. So I don't think Dominion utilizes a strong ground or air army. Oh, that's one thing too. Like the fun thing about this mission is that Protoss is Protoss, which is like that's fine. Like not really much to say about that. But Dominion actually specializes in a very strong ground army, whereas UED utilizes a lot of like air units. So even though there's two Terrans, like there's two different kinds of Terrans. Which I think is interesting. And also, we could probably do for another Overlord. You Fraudulous? Alright. Okay, I'm thinking Dominion's gonna be buckling over like House of Cards pretty soon. Buckling over like House of Cards. Do people really say that? How do you get here but not there? Alright, well. In any event. Means add it again. Also, you can probably just sack the space. I don't think I really need it. Look at that apathy setting in right now. It's just like, we have the space, we probably don't need it. Okay, I'm thinking they'll surrender once we destroyed all their
It is my wish that you allow my men to live.
You're not in a position to offer me anything, Admiral. And I don't take prisoners. I'll tell you what. Turn your remaining ships around and start heading back towards the Earth. I'll even let you have a head start before I send the swarms at you. It'll be interesting sport to see how far you get before you die.
That's cold, man. I mean, I'm kind of biased. Oh, man. I don't know where that is, so we're just going to give up any pretense of trying to find it. Can we not... Oh, here they are. Okay, that's the entrance. Okay, well, I guess we'll see where the nuke goes off. And I think we can just throw non-stop balls just accept them. That'll be good times. So much for doing like, you know, Spire Tech. I thought we were gonna need to, but nah. We won't. And like I said, I still think Mission A's more blue than this. Okay, so the Autos actually worked much better than I thought they would. Which is pretty cool, I'm okay with that. But yeah, it actually worked out very well because we set the Ultras in first and the Hydras came in afterwards and they could clean things up. More Ultras. Alright, we might as well send all the boys. Yeah, so we found the nuke, but I don't think it's really gonna matter at this point. Like, I was gonna say I'm Queen Chump of the universe, but I'm not really the queen of anything. Mostly because of my gender. I mean, if you guys haven't figured it out by now, I am a man. Not to say that, you know, there's anything disparaging you said about woman, I'm just saying that, I'm just not a woman. So I would have a hard time identifying myself as a queen. Man, they're really, throwing my units to the meat grinder, aren't they? Okay, let's actually do some more Zerglings. Yeah, that must be terrifying from their perspective. Non-stop Zerg. He just does this. And this is like the ideal Zerg fantasy for me. You just hit the end of the game and you just do this. Spend our bank. Oops, it sounds like I accidentally built some Scourge. We absolutely did actually build some Scourge. I don't even send over some overlords. Yeah, okay, we've definitely definitely broken them. I think the Zerglings actually tore things down faster than anything else. So I think the Zerglings, once they have the Adrenal Glands, I think they do the most damage of any Zerg unit. Although I'm not sure, this is just speculation on my part. I've not done like any number crunching whatsoever. Alright, Mace, if you want to surrender, that's fine too. I'll accept that. Oh. Man, look at us go. Savages, that's what we are. I'm wondering if there's anything else left here on this platform. Oh, there he is. That one extra base. Oh, we actually can't get up there, so we have to destroy all of his command centers, unfortunately. Oh, man, I mean, you can do that.
Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, no way for us to get up there. That's tough. So we'll just like wait for units to die, I suppose. Mules have popped. And away we go. Alright, cool. If they want to destroy that, that's fine, I suppose. Can't say no to them. Okay, you guys need to focus fire. And we actually need to do another Mutalisks. Yeah, so we're gonna need to send more Mutalisks and Overlords. And then that'll probably be the end of it. How many Mutalisks do we have? That should be enough. Alright, the other Mutalisks, and yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed Brew War. I guess I should have talked about this before, but if you have any like other feedback or suggestions for games to play, let me know. I always plan to have a StarCraft slot going on, so I don't think like that'll ever change. And I'm thinking after this we'll probably be back to like some StarCraft 2 multiplayer. Though by the time like this publishes, this is gonna be like what, October 17th? I think this is when it's gonna come out. So it's gonna be a little bit hard to say. And I guess we'll talk more about planets once the credits for this starts rolling. Where are our upgrades at? Okay, so they'll almost be finished. By the time the game finishes, we should be at 3-3 air. Which I guess was a small error on my part. Same bring out, yes it is. And so there you have it. I mean, you gotta say, well, you're talking like the game's already over. It's like, well, I don't think they're gonna come back from this one. Yeah, comments about the Let's Play would be, like, if you want to leave them, that's awesome. Let me know if you like this. Oh.
Kerrigan, you've beaten me again. Just remember that I'll be out there, waiting for you to slip up. Because sooner or later you'll make a mistake. And when you do...
Ominous. Vespene guys are depleted. That's the mistake we get made. So there you go. We've defeated the Terran Dominion, the UED battle fleet, and Fleet of the Executor. There you go. And welcome to one of the most chilling cinematics.
Once again, I stand atop the broken bodies of my enemies. Victorious, but not unscarred. The Earthborn Directorate has been destroyed, and the Overmind lies dead and trampled beneath the ashes of Char. As for my unlikely allies, I think that I shall allow them a reprieve. For in time I will seek to test their resolve and their strengths. They will all be mine in the end. For I am the Queen of Blades. None shall ever dispute my rule again.
Dearest Helena, by now the news of our defeat has reached the Earth. The creatures we were sent here to tame are untamable, and the colonies we were sent to reclaim have proven to be stronger than we anticipated. Whatever you may hear about what has happened out here, know this: Alexei did not die gloriously in battle. I killed him. My pride killed him. And now my pride has consumed me as well. You will never see me again, Helena. Tell our children that I love them, and that their father died in defense of their future. Over.
Epilogue. Shortly after de Gaulle's defeat, the remainder of the UED fleet was overtaken by Kerrigan's forces and eradicated. No UED vessel ever made it back to Earth to report what had transpired. Oh, man. With his ragtag fleet beaten and crippled, Arcturus Manx fled back to Korhal to look at his wounds and plan the reconstruction of the Terran Dominion. Artanis and the Protoss survivors returned to Trakurus to begin rebuilding their once glorious civilization. Zeratul and James Raider went their separate ways and have not been heard from since their departure. Oh, he has some very well-defined biceps. And alone, floating on a dark platform above the burnt-out planet of Char, Sarah Kerrigan, the Queen of Blades, sat and lorded over the ravenous swarms. Unable to shake the feeling that a great threat loomed over the horizon. It's like almost like, you know, the Hypers be stuff from the Secret Mission. Like, or maybe StarCraft 2 is gonna happen! Kerrigan only stared off to the vastness of space where she beheld a great void, or perhaps a reflection of a hollow victory and the trials of yet to come. Who knows? they really left it ambiguous. I can imagine people when they played this and once they finished the campaign be thinking, "Wow, like I can't wait for StarCraft 2 to come out." But then like StarCraft 2 didn't come out for let me see. I think Brew War came out in year 2000. So like 10 years basically. Because StarCraft 1 came out in 1998. Oh, Brew War might have been 1999. Anyways, over a decade later, StarCraft 2 finally came out. But that would have been sucked to be a fan of StarCraft back in the day. I mean, on one hand, it would have been cool to see the whole see StarCraft grow, especially if you're in the esports scene, like seeing it grow as an esport. But if you're in it for the story, just like waiting for the story, like, oh, that would be bad. Whereas I got into StarCraft when I was in like grade 6. So, and StarCraft 2 came out in like, was it grade 11? I think when I was in grade 11. So it was like a 5-year wait for me, which was like not great, but so for me it was like, okay, so I started playing StarCraft in like 2005. I was like, oh, that's really cool, but I didn't really experience the campaign until later. But then like shortly after I experienced the campaign, it's like, oh, like then they announced StarCraft 2. I think they announced it in 2007. So by playing like the campaign, like I knew StarCraft 2 was coming out. Like I knew it was in development, so it wasn't that bad. But still, it was kind of like a 3-year wait. And for someone who was in like in middle school, in high school, that's a long wait for something like that. But anyways, like here we are now. Like, oh my goodness, over 10 years later, Jeebus. I've been playing StarCraft for a while, guys. Year 2017. Yeah, that's weird to think. So now we're playing like StarCraft Remastered. The game of StarCraft 1 that came out after StarCraft 2 is like, wait, what? So I mean, really, if you think about it, StarCraft 1 came out, then StarCraft 2 came out, and then StarCraft 1 came out again, which is very unusual for games. I think this is like the first time I've ever heard of this happening. So yeah, so then you might be thinking, oh, cool, like are you gonna do the StarCraft 2 campaign? The answer is absolutely. When? I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest. I think I went a little bit too hard on recording these missions the past few days, and you might have noticed too, like for all my Zerg campaign missions, it was just maybe I didn't have the same level of energy. But I recorded like, I basically did the Zerg campaign like. So today's Monday. I did most of the Zerg campaign on Sunday. I think I recorded a couple missions on Saturday. For the sake of the argument, let's just say I did all of them on Saturday and Sunday, and then I did the secret mission, the final one today. But she might be saying like that's not a lot of recording, which sure. But I've been going on the StarCraft hard because it came out in like August 25th. Sorry, not August 2015. August 15th. So I've been basically recording it like up until now, which is September 18th right now. So I've been recording StarCraft Remastered for about a month, but I think I've been going pretty hard on that, so I don't have a desire to start recording Wings of Liberty anytime soon. And besides, the time when this comes out, this will be like October 17th. So I'm just gonna say right now, like up front, we probably won't see any StarCraft 2 or Wings of Liberty at least until maybe even 2018. I'm not in a rush to do it, but oh, Brew War looks like it came out in 1998 as well. I think what will happen after this is like I'll just go back to regular like StarCraft 2 multiplayer games for the meantime, because I think like there'll be a nice break for some people because it's been about like 2-month break. So I think that's nice to like break up the content, and then like 2018 or whatever, I'll start thinking about Wings of Liberty. I think. Hey, you might be saying, "Oh, that's a long time off." Like, yes and no. Like, by the time, if you're watching this, like, it's already gonna be like midway through October, and like 2018 is not gonna be too far away. It's gonna be well, think about it, it's like November, December, bam, next year, which is weird. Thing will be on 2018. So there you have it. That's kind of like roughly my plans for my other series. Like, I don't know what's gonna be happening. I'm assuming it'll still probably be Castlevania and Fallout 3. Sorry, Fallout New Vegas, but I mean, I think the people who are watching this probably aren't interested in that other stuff. Hey, it's weird to think that, like, things I've said now have been cataloged forever. Not cataloged forever, but cataloged in this video. So if you watch it at a later date, say like 2019 or whatever, it's like, oh, this was published in 2017, and like he's talking about like New Vegas and Castlevania, when really like I have no idea where I'll be. Excuse me, like that's the weird thing to think about, right? Like in 2019, like anything can happen to me. Like, I could actually be dead as an individual, so there'd be no more YouTube content, or like YouTube might make changes to their content, so I won't be doing it anymore. Or maybe I'll still be recording YouTube videos, and I'll still be puttering along, and you're thinking, wow, like I did this like 2 years ago. I mean, I've already kind of had that feeling. Like a year ago, I was recording content, and actually, if I went back to look at some of my older videos, like wow, like I've been doing this for about a year. That's weird to think about. Like, it really is, because when I first started, like, YouTube, it was just like, wow, like, it's so cool to, like, actually finally being able to do this. I didn't think much of it, because it's very, like, in the moment, but now I think about, like, man, a lot's happened in 1 year. I think that's just the takeaway of anything, is that, I think you look at your life, like, 1 year from now, and it's like, wow, like, oh, I feel like I'm not doing a great job of articulating myself, but, a lot can change. Like, if I look back a year from now, like, just from, like, a YouTube perspective, like, as far as, like, work's concerned, like, even, like, work and personal life, right? Like, a year ago, when I recorded, like, this StarCraft, not remastered, but, like, original, it's like, I was still living at home. I still worked at the place where I did, but I just got the job, whereas now I've been here for, like, over a year. I tried to do a live stream of the original StarCraft. I'm trying to think. No, because I think I started recording in July. Yeah, so I did like a live stream of original StarCraft, and then I think Brood War I started doing the Let's Play, but even then for like, the videos, I did them in a weird way. Like, I feel like as a YouTuber, I've made a lot of progress already. Like, I'm much more satisfied with the quality of the content I do now, as opposed to what I did a year ago. And that's where I'm hoping I'll be at too a year from now if I'm still doing this. Like, I hope to have more experience, which I think that'll be given, and I'll be even more satisfied where I'm at. So the cool thing about this is like it's just like a journey. Look at that. More credits. The credits of 3 different games, technically speaking. So it's a journey, and like for those of you who watch this, like thank you all for watching. It's been fun having you guys here. And when I first started, you know, let's be like upfront, like I'm still small time. Like I'm tiny. I'm a tiny YouTuber. Like I'm like, as of right now, I'm only like 22 subscribers. But a year ago, I was only 2 subscribers, which you might say is like, oh, that's only 20 subscribers. But I'm saying, like, dude, that's exactly it. 20 subscribers. Wow. And now that I've said this, I'll like lose like 3 the next day. And I actually happened one time. I was talking about my subscriber count. I was like, yeah, I have like 6, and then I lost like 2 of them. And back then I was like, oh, that's crushing. But I'm curious to see. I'm curious, and I'm excited to see where I'll be in the future as far as YouTube goes. Like, I hope I keep doing this for a while. But the other thing too is like, if we're gonna be completely honest, like I've been saying, a lot can happen in a year, so who knows what we'll be up to a year from now. Like, I hope to be recording videos, but like that's me right now speaking. Like a year from now, or like 6 months, I might be like, oh well, blah, and like I just won't do them, or like things change, right? Because like that's just the nature of life. People go through change, and they have different priorities. Like maybe what'll happen is I'll just decide that I want to go into writing short stories, and I'll just write a bunch of short stories. So. We'll see. But I still hope to do StarCraft content, and I guess putting more of a point on it, there will still be StarCraft 2 content, or StarCraft content. If you guys want to see me go like online in Brood War, let me know. I don't know if I will, because a couple reasons. I don't think I'll get any demand for it, and B, StarCraft 2 is kind of like my niche anyways. It's more fun to play, but... And the other thing too is like I just got through the entire like remastered campaign. I think I'll be playing some matches at work, though who knows? No promises. There might be more StarCraft Brood War content in the future, but I would say keep your expectations low. Like, manage your expectations accordingly. but there will definitely be StarCraft. I want to do StarCraft content for as long as possible. Like, I know for like my channel, I do other stuff. Like, I'll do like Let's Plays. I've been trying to get into live streaming a little bit more, but I always hope to have StarCraft content going on forever and ever. Well, forever is a long time, but you know, at least give it some more time. And the other weird thing too is like, as far as like YouTube's going, I guess I'll drop some personal metric on you guys. I have like over 900 videos now, which is insane. Like, I remember uploading my first YouTube video by live stream as a Fire Emblem live stream, and I was like, wow, I finally got a video on YouTube. And then I remember like getting like 10 videos on YouTube and getting like 100. I was like, holy, like, good grief, 100 videos on YouTube. And now we're at the point where it's like, wow, we've put over 900. And I hope to hit the 1,000 barrier. And I think once I hit 1,000 videos, it's like, well, let's hit the next milestone, which is like gonna be like 2,000, right? And it's weird just to think that I've put that much content on YouTube. Like, I also remember thinking like back in the day, like, it's like I could watch all my content on YouTube like within one day. Whereas now I have so much content, it's like I think it'd take me like a week to get through it all. And that's my ball. And it's fun too, like posting these videos saying like, now I've done a StarCraft Remastered Let's Play, like what's the next thing? And then, you know, I could go back and say I've done all these different like Let's Plays of different games. Like, it's really cool. It's kind of like having your own like little library. It sounds like a full photo album, actually, like having a photo album of experiences, saying like, here, I've done this. You know, and this is something I've done on my YouTube channel. And that's just it. I think for YouTube, I think a lot of people want to make it big on YouTube, which I think is unrealistic considering like just how many YouTubers there are on here. But that's why I think it's important to enjoy what you do. So I think if you enjoy what it is that you love, like, so for example, if you're like a manga artist, or sorry, let's use a different example. If you're a book writer and your books never hit the big time, like maybe your books are never popular, but like you just love writing, then you're not gonna feel like your time's been wasted by writing books because you've enjoyed the experience and you feel like, well, I feel like I've progressed as a writer. And for me, it's kind of like the same feeling. You know, I don't think I'll ever make it big on YouTube. Like, that's kind of the dream. Like, the more I think, I was like, wow, that would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, like, there was some, I think definitely some appeal for me there, and I don't want to do like the false modesty. It's like, oh, I don't want to be big. I think it'd be an interesting video. If someone offered to me like, hey, like hypothetically speaking, like you could get a large YouTube channel, I definitely would consider it. But that being said, like, it's just nice to record the content. Like, this just feels good. Like, I like doing this because it's fun, and people do watch it. It's not like there's literally no one watching. Like, there is people who actually watch this stuff. It's like, whoa, like people actually watch me. That's touching, and weird to think about at the same time. Like, again, like going before, like I used to have only like 2 subscribers, and like that was like my dad and my brother. So that was pretty cool. And then I remember like getting like 3 subscribers. Like, wow, like one random person like who I don't know has decided to subscribe to me. That's pretty awesome. It was like, now it's there's a number of you, like a bunch of random people have decided they wanted to like click the subscribe button, and, like actually watch my stuff. Which, I mean, there's a lot of people here. I've come to realize it's one thing to have the subscribers, because someone can subscribe and not watch, but like watching like my metrics, like people actually watch my stuff. Like, I have right now over like I think YouTube does things in terms of like 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, like I've had 1,600 minutes worth of content watched. And I know that wasn't me. Like, someone's actually going through and watching the content, which is, that's really cool. Sorry, I'm doing some mental calculations now. Yeah, it's, weird to think about that people watch my stuff. So it's, and again, I hope to come back in, like, a year or whatever. If I could, like, watch myself, like, talking about this. That's what I should do at some point, is I should watch the endings to all my Let's Plays and see like what I'm talking about, because I feel like during the credits that's my chance to like ramble on a little bit, talk about stuff, and just see the progression. Like, I think right now wouldn't be much of a difference because it's only been like 1 year, so it's like, okay, I remember what's been here. But it's like, if I could do YouTube for a longer time, like say even like 5 years, I think that's when we get a huge difference. Because even like for me, like it's like, oh, like 1 year, what can happen in 1 year? And I think I was like, wow, like a lot has happened in a year. And then again, like a year from now, it's like, well, what could possibly happen? Like, it's easy for me to imagine right now that like, a year from now things will be roughly the same, but I think realistically speaking, a year from now things are going to be much, much different. Because I think change is the only constant. So, you know, you multiply that up to like 5 years, it's like, whoa, geez, like, what happened? Where's all the time going? And I really hope, like, probably like my biggest hopes for YouTube, maybe not my biggest hopes, but a fantasy of mine would be like I record all this content and then like I'm just like long gone. Like maybe I only like do YouTube for like a few years or whatever, and then like I stop making videos. But like my stuff's all on the internet, and then like the year like 2024 or whatever, it's like some kids like just like watching, just like who is this man? Like what is he doing? And like they're just like watching my stuff. It's just like that's weird. Like I always feel like I'm a pirate putting treasure on the internet, and people could like go find it. And I think that's weird too because when I think of people watching my content, I always think like oh they will if they don't watch it when it gets first like published, then like it's never gonna be watched at all. But if I went back to some of my really old videos and like look at the view counts, I think it'd be a little surprising what the numbers are. Because I'm sure it's like some people have like found some of my older stuff and watched it. Which, by the way, I'm gonna say up front, I think my older stuff is terrible. I'm not pleased with the quality of my old stuff. But that's just it. Like you're not gonna get any better by not doing it. So. Like the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So, and as far as like progress is concerned, I think I made a ton of progress from like a year ago. Well, because I started in May, so it's been closer to 16 months. Which again, a lot has happened in 16 months. Which is still weird to think about. It's surreal once you start really going on about. But I've said my piece, and I'm hoping like another 16 months from now, like I'll have more tricks to trade figured out, or I'll who knows? Like I guess I'm just excited for the future, not because I'm unsatisfied where I am right now. Like I think I'm living the dream right now. Like this is awesome, but I'm just curious. Like it's like if my life was like a big book, I've read one chapter and I said, you know what? I want to read another chapter. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. So I'm starting to read another chapter of my next life. So and here's the problem too. These credits are going on for a very long time. I thought they would have just been like done earlier, but I guess a lot of people put time and effort into this game, which I guess makes sense. Games these days seem to have larger and larger teams because of well, a number of reasons. That would have been a great tangent to go on in one of those StarCraft videos, but it's tough, man. StarCraft is just. I think that was my problem for those like the last few episodes I did. Well, Sunday I was tired. I shouldn't have recorded yesterday, but I did anyways because I'm an idiot. So I recorded a bunch of videos, but I think what happened was I was alert enough to play StarCraft and talk about my plan and the current game strategy, but then beyond that, it was hard to get more off-the-wall commentary, which I really enjoy. But I'm not gonna get too hard on myself for that because like it is StarCraft, and playing StarCraft is demands a lot of your attention. Like I think. So here's what I'm saying, is if I was playing like a really simple platformer, and I couldn't have a tangent going on, then I would have felt worse about that. Whereas for StarCraft, I think most of my attention was devoted to like just playing the game, which you might say, well, you can push yourself harder, which, I mean, I guess I could have. I mean, See, now I'm just being too critical. I'm like, you can tell I'm hit the point where I'm just like, I hope the credits end up soon because I don't know what else to talk about. You can tell like I've hit the point where it's like I have nothing left to talk about. Which I mean, I guess isn't entirely true because I'm sure I can find more things to talk about. But I think that the fact that I'm talking about finding more things to talk about like isn't a good sign. I think for like YouTube goes, at least from my experience, is there are tangents for me. Like I know I've got to the point where I feel like if I go on a tangent and I know the tangent just isn't good or interesting, like I just feel it. I'm like, oh, let's talk about gravy when it hits the floor. It's like I'll talk about it, I'll say a couple sentences on it, and I'll be like, okay, there wasn't much more to say about it. Or sometimes I go on about like say like the production of video games and like how they've gone up, or the production values, which I think increases the money needed to make a video game, and how the price of games have been near constant for like a decade. Like they've always been about $60, which is weird once you think about it. Like they haven't really been affected by inflation. And I can't say that these are original ideas. Like I read this in an article like not too long ago. So But it's weird because when I was little, and this might just be because of, like, me aging. When I was little, like, $60 for a video game, I was like, that was impossible. Like, you couldn't do it, because that was just so much money for me as a kid. But now, like, $60 for a video game, like, depending on what it is, I was like, yeah, I'll just, like, buy that. But now, actually, even now, I think it's more of that I'm more likely to spend less money on a video game because I'll usually either A, get older video games, which tend to be, like, cheaper, or B, I'll grab them when they're on a sale, which, again, like, they're on sale, so they're not the full price. So, like, the Castlevania I bought for, from Steam, that was, like, $10. And, like, Remastered was only, like, $15. The mind you, was, like, $15 US, but they didn't really have a say in that because it's not like Blizzard has a lot of influence over the, you know, Canadian economy over the United States economy. But it's like video games are really cheap, and I think they're a very cost-efficient form of entertainment. I mean, if you consider me even just playing like this remastered series, let's say each campaign is probably about, so we'll say like 30 minutes average per mission, give or take. I think 30 minutes is probably about fine. So that's like 5 hours for each campaign in the first StarCraft. So like that's 15 hours, and then Brood War is probably roughly the same, but I'll just say 4 hours. Well, their campaign's a bit, so we'll just say like 14 hours to be weird. So basically, we spent 29 hours on this game, or let's round up to 30 because I've done a couple skirmishes. So we've done 30 hours on this game, and it's cost us like $15. Which, I mean, we're doing some loose math here because we have to account for like GST and how much. Or how weak the Canadian dollar is the American dollar. But anyways, but roughly speaking, it's been about $1's been about 2 hours worth of entertainment, which is like that's not bad if you think about it, as far as like cost goes. Whereas you look at a movie, we've already had this conversation, but when you look at a movie, it's like $10 for 2 hours. So I mean, I guess the takeaway from this is that maybe video games are 10 times the efficiency of movies, which is, I think that's unfair math because we literally just compared one game example. And everyone's different. I mean, if you compare my time to StarCraft 2 versus other games, like, it's very efficient for me to play StarCraft 2, or like cost efficient. Like, I've got a lot of hours worth of entertainment out of it, but then there's a bunch of other metrics you can push in too, right? Like, how you define like entertainment, which I guess that's pretty straightforward, but then like you can say, well, what's the quality of the entertainment? And that's subjective anyways, because you might just say, well, yes, it cost me $10 to see a 2-hour film, but I really, 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 really enjoyed that film. Where StarCraft Remastered, like, I had fun playing through the campaign, but I'd say it might not be as fun as playing StarCraft 2 with my friends, you know, like. But someone might have StarCraft Brood War and they've been playing it since 1998 and they haven't stopped, and they said, you know what, this is the best game ever made. And some people really feel this way about StarCraft. I think that's true for a lot. Like, basically what I want to say is I don't think there's anything quite like StarCraft except StarCraft, which that sounds pretty tautological when you think about it, but I think it's true. There's not. You could say that every game is unique, like every person's unique, but games, I think in particular, is nothing quite like. Well, even just like StarCraft Brood War is so unique in that regard. Like, I can't even think of anything that comes close to being like StarCraft Brood War. Like, not even StarCraft 2, I'd say, is like, they're similar, sure, but they're very distinctly different. So, with that in mind, if someone says like StarCraft Brood War is the best game ever made, like, in their minds, I think they're fine to say that. Like, that, I guess what I'm saying is, if someone says that they think StarCraft Brood War is the best game ever made, I think, yeah, I can understand it. Which, I guess, for me, I'd say that StarCraft 2 is the best game ever made, in my mind. Which I think some people might disagree intensely with that. You might say, what? You know, flip your table and just, like, scream at me. It's like, how could you say that? But that's just it. Everyone's got different tastes. Like, I think The Dark Knight, like, the 2008 Batman film, is the best Batman film ever. And actually, for me, it's my personal favorite movie of all time. Whereas some people don't hold that opinion, and that's fine. Like some people like The Dark Knight. Some people think it's pretty. I'm actually even wearing a Joker shirt right now. I'm wearing the Why So Serious, which you can't really see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's a little. It's got Heath Ledger's face on there. It's the same thing for StarCraft. Like some people are into StarCraft, which is awesome. Like I love that people love this game. Others just not so much. They just think, nah, StarCraft's okay, but it's not my favorite. So, and that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with having different tastes. Because I think art in particular is pretty subjective. I mean, there's like things where people might say, oh, like this is objective and like this is right, this is wrong. But I think like art and taste in games, music, films, whatever, I think that's very personalized. And I think if someone has a different opinion than you, doesn't mean you should shun them for it. Like, well, and that's the thing too, is if you want people to be into StarCraft, because I mean, this is the game at hand, I don't think it's good for you to say, oh, what do you like? That's stupid. You should like StarCraft instead. That's not going to earn you any fans. I think what you need to be is saying, like, hey, like that's cool that you're into whatever it is you're into. And they ask you about like what you like, and then you say, hey, I just love StarCraft. Like, I'm so passionate about it. And that's even happened at work. I'm at work, I'm known as the StarCraft guy. I'm just, people's like, oh, Ryan likes StarCraft. Like, that's who he is. He's really into StarCraft. But because I have such enthusiasm for StarCraft, I'm like, yeah, StarCraft's awesome. I've gotten some people to go back and replay some of the StarCraft 2 campaigns, and I've even gotten some non-StarCraft people to watch some like pro games of StarCraft. They're like, like that's really cool. Like just like people are like, well, I'm not actually into StarCraft, but like if Ryan's that excited about it, or sorry, Frudgy, if Frudgy's that excited about it, then maybe I'll go check it out. And I think that's how you can bring people or get people interested in your hobbies, is if you have a lot of passion about it, and a lot of passion, excitement, just like, you know, positivity. I'm not saying to like, you know, if someone's sitting at their desk, it's like, hey, stop what you're doing. I want to tell you about StarCraft. I'm really excited about StarCraft. And I think in general too, I think for me at least, for like, if I were to give us some life advice, which may or may not be like good advice. Again, guys, I'm sitting here on a computer just talking about whatever, so what I might say might just be completely stupid, but I find that people like talking about themselves more than they enjoy like hearing about you. So if you're talking to somebody, like just ask them like, hey, why are you into it? And maybe those people will be really excited about something that they're about one of their hobbies, and maybe this is a chance for you to like learn or get exposed to like different hobbies or different things. Like if I ask someone like, hey, like, Fred, what do you like to do for your spare time? Fred's like, well, I actually really enjoy making rock sculptures. Like, whoa, rock sculptures, like, tell me more about that. And then he can like tell me a little bit, and I can learn more about Fred because he's telling me about his rock sculptures, and that can be really a meaningful experience. Like, I think getting to know people and I think in general, just like asking about people and can be, well, just talking to people can be really interesting because you can learn a lot. Sorry, excuse me, my mouth escaped dry. But even like when I play Dungeons and Dragons, like there's some people there, I'm like, hey, like Devin, what do you like to do? And he tells me like, he likes to go four-wheeling, and then I was like, oh, what do you mean by four-wheeling? And then he gives me some more examples, and then you can ask him more questions about it. But the thing is, because I'm taking the time to ask Devin about himself and like his hobbies, he's gonna be more inclined to talk to me. He's like, oh, because like he's interested in talking about himself. And I realize now that I'm saying this, like it makes me sound like some sort of like evil social engineer, which isn't really my intention. I'm just trying to say like this is what I've found out from my time on Earth, is that I think people are more receptive, and they tend to be friendlier to you too when you like just ask them about themselves. Like people would like that, right? So, and I think in relation to like say talking about how much you like StarCraft, at least for me, like don't go like trumpeting just like how much you love it, but having that passion, enthusiasm. I think for me, it's like if I say. If someone asks me, do you like StarCraft? I was like, oh, like it's fine, but sometimes like the ladder can be a drag, or it's just like, it has its ups and downs. Like that's not that doesn't get their attention as much as me saying, like, hey, do you like StarCraft? I'm like, dude, I love StarCraft more than anything. It's like my favorite game. Really exciting. Like, I'm just really passionate about it. But if people don't like it, that's fine. Like, then people are like, whoa, like, it's like, how long have you been playing StarCraft? I was like, I've been playing StarCraft since 2005. It's like, holy, like, Ryan must be really into StarCraft. And it's like, why is this guy into StarCraft for like 13 years? They want to ask questions. So, also, how long are these credits? I see, I'm already committed, right? I could say, oh, I'm going to end the credits right now, but now that I'm just like talking through them, I feel like I'm committed to get to the end of the credits. Like, now I have to. There's like a personal challenge. I realize too, when people might be like watching the end credits, like they'll just stop halfway through. They may even hit the end credits and say, okay, the video's over. And that's fine. I totally get that. But for me, I'm just like, I gotta see this through. Third-party credits, okay, we gotta be getting close to the end. We have to. Third-party credits, maybe not. Maybe we'll just never hit the end of these credits. I didn't realize how long these remaster credits were going. Like, I'm looking at the feed right now. It's been probably about 20 minutes worth of credits, which is fine. I think I filled the air pretty well. We went a lot of different places, and again, like, maybe for the next end credits scene I do for a game, which will probably be Castlevania, we'll be smarter and wiser, and we can like talk about some really heavy things in the credits. And actually, if someone's like made to this part in the video and like you're still watching me and like still listening to me talk, dude, just tell me what your favorite color is. Just, that's it. For the comment, just say like blue or purple. That's it. Just put that comment there and just leave right there. That way I'll know you're a committed fan to my channel. And really, this is what this is all about. This is about pushing my brand, like the brand of Ryan or brand of Frudgy. Dang it, I keep referring to myself as Ryan, but which, I mean, that is my name, but I should be going for Frudgy. But does it really matter? Like, I feel like I've kind of missed the ball on that. So, because for online personalities, like, my username is Frudgy, so I want to be like, okay, like, that's what people associate me as. But for my Google account, like, I just use my my username. So now my YouTube channel is just like Ryan Rideout. So I guess I could get the name change, but I also don't mind just being Ryan Rideout. That's kind of weird, but maybe we can change it down in the future. But now it's like, I'm like, oh no, like people know that I'm Ryan. It's like, well, that's literally like 2 years of content creator. Like it says right on your YouTube channel, Ryan Rideout. So if you're not Ryan Rideout, then I don't know who you are. I guess for me, it's like I want to push like the Frudgy branding a little bit more, but I don't think it really makes a big deal either way. Like, I'm so small that, I mean, I'm wondering how many of my subscribers actually know me as Frudgy and how many know him as Ryan Rideout, because my channel is Ryan Rideout. But I was gonna say, I think for the most part my videos say Frudgy, but then I'm thinking, it's like, well, no, I know my playlists say Frudgy, and on stream or on Twitch I'm known as Frudgy, but then the YouTube channel is not quite there. I'm gonna have to Google search myself. I'll Google search Frudgy and I'll see what comes up. I suspect it'll be content from my YouTube channel because True Type, I don't even know what that is. Because I think Frudgy's a pretty unique username. And I was gonna say, that's not permission for you to steal it, which I don't think anyone here would want to. But even then, like, what could I do if you want to? You can try and, if you go on, say, like, some new game. Let's say you play the next Call of Duty game and your username is Frudgy, I can't stop you. That's how powerless I am. Also, it looks like they've used a lot of third-party software here, which is interesting, to say at least. Like, I haven't been paying attention to the credits at all. I've been watching myself just talk for now going on 24 minutes. This is gonna be like a 2-hour finale. Oh boy. Oh boy, indeed. And I think now we're like sort of starting to finally run out of steam. Because legitimately, I didn't think it'd be this long. Because I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch the StarCraft credits. I was like, it shouldn't be that long, right? But then here we are with the Remastered, and the credits are taking a very long time. 24. Now here's the interesting part. So for me, I have no idea when this is gonna end. But for you guys, you can look at the video time and say to yourself, oh, this is going to end in 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And you might say to yourself, well, if he's already like panicking about like not finding things to say and he's got 15 minutes left, it's going to be a very boring 15 minutes. Though, I guess on the flip side, you might be saying, oh, it's going to be over in like 2 minutes. Like, you guys can know how much longer these credits are going on for. And actually, I guess what's another interesting thing too is that you guys will also know when the credits start. Like for me, I have a rough idea. Like I think the video started actually because I finished the mission in about 40 minutes, and then we had all the cinematics and stuff, which was probably close to another 10 minutes. So 50 minutes, so probably 35 minutes worth of credits. So for those of you who get to like the 50-minute mark, you're like, okay, he's got some credits. I'm suspecting that most people, if they do watch this, would be would watch for maybe like 5-10 minutes, and then I think beyond that it would drop off like heavily. Although it's hard to say because I think if you are watching this now, then they've watched all the other videos. Like I guess my question is I don't know how much loyalty people have when it comes to watching end credit sequences, even though I'm still talking. Like so, I think for most people, and I think myself included, if I hit the end credits in a game, I would just leave. I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm done. But now it's like, for me, it feels a little bit, I guess, symbolic in a way that I would just sit through the credits and like talk about my plans for the future of my YouTube channel. Because I think I've always done that, where I'll hit the credits and I'm like, okay, here's what's going on. Here are my plans. Although I think I've cut the credits short a few times, where it's like, now I'm just talking. I think I've kind of dropped the ball here. And actually, leave a comment if you think I should just like say my piece and actually the comment or the credits halfway through. Let me know. If you guys think, no, it's a nice touch that he talks through all the credits, then also let me know. Like, I'm good either way. Like, I understand both sides of the argument. I think for me, personally, I would say your piece, and then if you don't have anything else to say, then like just head off. But if I have like things to say, like I guess for me, it's how interesting is the commentary. So if I'm just like, if I was just sitting here not saying anything, I think that's one thing. I'd be like, all right, this guy's not doing anything exciting, let's just leave. But if I was sitting here and I'm like talking about, okay, let's talk about hypothetical physics or theoretical physics or whatever. Let's say that's a bad example. We screwed up. Let's say I was talking about philosophy. I was like, let's talk about the philosophy of free will. I would be interested to just hear what this guy's saying. So I would probably like sit through the credits just because I'm interested in what the person's saying. And I guess that's the ultimate, question is, how interesting am I without the gameplay? Because I think for StarCraft Brew War, like, yes, I didn't talk much, but there was so much happening like on screen that I don't think it really mattered. Like, the game did the talking for us. So, and like whatever I could add in for commentary, great, but like I don't think it was necessary. It was like, now, because we're just watching names go up on the screen, I think the onus is on me entirely to create meaningful commentary. And that's, I think, the interesting part about YouTube, because I think for me, ideally, I would always be able to do interesting commentary like 100% of the time. And I think I've gotten better. I think when I first started doing commentary at the beginning, I had now a much lower standard, but I just don't think I was as good at it. Whereas like now, I don't think I'm great, because I mean, again, 16 months of experience, I don't think it's actually a lot, but I feel like I'm further now than it was 16 months ago, which makes sense because I've been doing this as a hobby for a while, so I think I would get better. And that's why I'm excited for the future too, is that I think if I could do like another 16 months of this, then I mean that'd be like two years and 8 months of experience. Like, and I think at that point I could be pretty consistent, because I would like to hit the point where it's like anything can happen and I can just go on a random tangent for like the whole video. I think that's like ideal for me, is like for the whole video I could just talk about anything unrelated to the game, and I could do that video after video after video after video after video after video. I think that's hard though, but I think the reason why I want to hit that standard is because like for some of the other YouTube creators I watch, when they can do that, when they're talking about stuff not related to the game, that's the most interesting thing for me. But everyone's different. Some people might say, well, I want you to talk about the game because I want to understand what your thought process is when you're playing. But I don't think I'm that good of a player to... I mean skill-wise. They have all these international people. That's why. The credits. I don't think I'm a skilled enough player to really warrant the use of my commentary to explain my thought process. Because here's why I say that. I think if people are interested about like my thought process for like why I do things in a particular game, I think on some level they might just be interested because like, oh, like I'm interested in the personality, but I don't think I've hit that point yet, and I don't know if I ever will hit that point. But I think people who are interested in like the analysis of the game that they're playing, they're probably looking for like high level commentary in the sense like it's like, oh, like I understand the game very well, and if like you listen to what I'm saying, then you might get better at the game too, because like I'm sharing like these tidbits of, you know, basically it's like educational content. So I think, and I guess to use an analogy, like even though I have a degree in mathematics, like you could ask me some math questions and I could probably give you an explanation, but you'd probably be more interested in talking to like a PhD professor of math, and they would give you much better answers than I could because like they have a PhD, like so they presumably they know the content well. So I think that's, you know, for analogy that's accurate. So I think for me I go more for the entertainment. I think that's probably my best bet too, because it's probably the best way to distinguish myself from other people, because I don't think I'm good enough to do educational content. Like I just don't think I have the experience, which is fine. Whereas to do something like unique and interesting, that's probably what I have planned in the future, but that's going to be that's down the pipes. I don't want to say anything because if it falls through, it falls through. But I'm hoping by the time you guys will like watch this, there might be 1 or 2 videos out. But I don't know. Excuse me. It looks like we're done. Yeah, I don't want to say anything because who knows what's going to happen in the future. And I think that's it. So thank you all for watching. If you made it through all the way to the credits, thank you sincerely. That was a lot of fun. Tomorrow will probably be regular StarCraft 2 content, but until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!